Chair, and since council's having a difficult time with the English language, the word offensive in the last line is where everybody is heading. So what the fuck may be offensive to most of the people in this room? It may not be offensive to the two bozos sitting here.
All right.
Your Honor, I move to disqualify this gentleman from this proceeding. He's demonstrated animosity toward council, prejudgment.
Send me to the electric chair, Counselor.
No, I think he should be disqualified from this proceeding.
Let's try to keep the personal comments down.
Advisor?
Focus on the issues, please.
Mr. Weiner, you wanted to say something?
I wonder if I can ask for the street addresses for Mr. Sheets and Mr.
What?
Macy. I'm sorry, I lost my page.
Okay.
Mr. Sheets and Mr.
Macy.
Macy, sorry.
Massey.
Street address.
Why? The relevance?
It's relevant to what is in the document.
Are you wanting the address where the violations occurred?
No, I want their street address in Punta Gorda.
Where they reside?
Yes.
I don't think that's
How is
relevant.
that relevant to
Okay,
whether we have a case or
on
not?
page 10 of counselor's pleading, by the fact that both parties to this case reside within Punta Gorda. I don't believe either one resides in Punta Gorda. One resides in Sarasota County, and one resides in Charlotte County. So,
Let me just interject. If that's something you want to pursue when the respondent is up, you could bring it that time. Right now, we're just dealing whether or not the city has a prima facie case. I'd like to stay with that motion.
The motion,
call the question.
that motion's been seconded.
Yes, Mr. Weiner?
Mr. Sheets, your street address, please.
I object to that.
Did you hear what counsel just said? You can't object to my question. Try and pay attention to what's going on.
Again, this gentleman's insulting to the attorney.
Oh, I'm not through. Believe me, I'm not through.
Oh, he can keep insulting. You're showing yourself on the record.
Mr. Weiner,
It's all
let's
decorum.
calm down. Yes.
Mr. Sheets, I'm going to ask one last time. Your street address.
Don't answer it. Privacy.
I have been informed
Okay,
not
let
to
me
answer that.
rephrase the question. You do live in Punta Gorda?
I actually live one street out of Punta Gorda in Charlotte County.
Well, counselor's comment on page 10 was, by the fact that both parties to this case reside within Punta Gorda. So either your counselor's wrong or you're wrong. I mean, you don't know where you live, he doesn't know where you...
Just let me interject one thing.
Well,
May I, please? I do not understand the issue as what was in the pleading and the person's address. From my point of view, if I may, in the discussion, the ordinance does not apply only or against people where they live. On its face, it's applicable to any individual. And so I do not see why the gentleman has to answer with what his address is. We're interested in his conduct, not his residence.
Okay, can you, in monetary fashion, that is to say, dollars and cents, how much corruption goes through the city clerk's office?
Objection, that's irrelevant, Mr. Chairman.
He brought it up.
Do I get to cross-examine, or is he going to keep interrupting me?
Noting the point previously made about inappropriate for counsel to object questions, but, what is the relevance of the?
Mr. Sheets just said he was thrown out of all city buildings and forced into the street because of the corruption in Punta Gorda. I want to know how many dollars are spent on corrupt services in Punta Gorda that he got thrown out on the street.
Okay, in that context.
Counsel, what do I answer?
You know, you don't know.
I do not know.
So you just say there's corruption in city clerk's office, in the police department, in public works and everything else, and let it go at that?
Actually, 9 years of evidence on Charlotte County Cop Watch Facebook page. It's not a lie, it's real.
Wait a second, I'm sorry, but I live in Punta Gorda, and what's on Charlotte County's Facebook page doesn't affect me. You made statements that there is corruption in the city clerk's office, police department, and other agencies in the city. That's why you were thrown out on the street, because
Mr. Weiner, can we focus on the ordinance itself? And this is it may be an interesting matter, but it's a superfluous matter for the board's purpose today.
Chair.
Yes, Mr. Weiner?
So if I understand what's going on, and I don't know whether you have one or not, and I'm projecting, but your 6-year-old grandson can walk around with "fuck grandpa" on his shirt, no problem. Your sit down.
Let's,
Mr. Chairman.
I understand that we're getting to beyond.
Attorneys typically stand up in court as a
Yes.
show of respect to the chair. That's why I stand. I've never had a judge tell me to sit down when I stood up as a show of respect. So,
Mr. Weiner, we just temper your
yes.
conduct, please,
Yeah.
so we can get on.
What is it, how do you want me to rephrase that question, Mr.
This
Chair?
has nothing to do with the interpretation of the statute, application of the facts.
We're talking about free speech. Am I in a different room? We're talking about free speech.
We are getting a bit of field. It is, the issue is free speech, but it's speech in terms of what the ordinance is and what conduct Mr. Sheets had with it.
Again, for the sake of due process and with the deference of the hearing, let's try to tone down our emotions and,
Mr. Chair,
Mr. Weiner?
if you're ready for a motion.
Mr. Weiner?
Not yet.
Mr. Weiner, and I might suggest that you or I not make the motion, please.
Why is that?
Well, because I think you and I maybe have been argumentative, and personally, I'd rather not make the motion, just,
Well,
I'd like to make.
if you don't want to make the motion, that's fine, but I'd like to make a motion.
I've got a
Well,
comment.
we
I
have
got a comment.
We're not done yet making comments, so, Mr. Nettle, respondent has violated the ordinance.
May I make that motion, Mr. Chair?
You may make, if you want to make that motion, that's fine.
I can make the motion.
Motion to find that the citation is valid and the respondent did irreparably violate Chapter 9A, Section 9A through 9A hyphen 13C 8 and Chapter 26, Section 11.5Z of the Punta Gorda Code in order that the fine in the amount of $5,000 be imposed plus case costs incurred in the amount of $7.41, in order that said fine be, and case costs be paid within 10 days.
Is there a second to that motion?
Amendment, please. I would like to amend that motion, please.
There's no second, you can't amend it.
Oh,
No motion, no second to the motion, and the motion falls. Mr. Weiner, you have a,
I was going to make a motion that the city's found
okay.
a prima facie case.
We have any other questions of the officer from the board? No further questions, so I will entertain a motion as to whether or not the city has established a prima facie case.
Mr. Chair, I'd like to make a motion that the city has proven it has a prima facie case.
seconded.
Motion has been made and seconded that a prima facie case has been established.
What am I, chopped liver?
No, I just leave it to him. Any discussion?
So, Mr. Chair, I'm sorry, I kind of reached my level of confusion about 3 hours ago. So the sign that,
Excuse me, sir, I'm in the middle of questioning this gentleman.
yeah, please. Board, let him finish. Let's stick to the
Mr.
procedures.
Respondent.
Mr. Chair.
Yes, Mr. Weiner.
Mr. Massey, so you made a statement that black folks were marching down the street with signs.
Yes, sir.
And to the best of my knowledge, when I viewed that parade and those signs said Black Lives Matter.
Maybe not, maybe not. So this town, sir, but across the country, they have.
Well,
Used it.
you know what? I can't be responsible for what happens in Cheyenne, Wyoming. I'm just telling you that when those people marched down the street, the sign said Black Lives Matter. What I'm asking you is the sign that says Black Lives Matter the same as fuck Punta Gorda?
I'm gonna say inside the contents of that one sign, no. But that's, like I said, the BL.
Mr. Chair, I'll make a motion if you'd like.
Sure.
We got a chance to sum
Would-
up here.
Would you like to?
There-
Yes, please.
I would
Want to do a closing argument in these cases?
in a motion to,
Mr. Chair,
yes, Mr. Weiner.
I'll give you a motion.
Go on, Mr. Weiner.
Motion to find that the citation is valid and the respondent did irreparably violate Chapter 9A, Section 9A-13, paren C, 8, and Chapter 26, Section 11.5, paren Z of the Punta Gorda Code, and order that the fine in the amount of $5,000 be imposed, plus case costs incurred in the amount of $7.41, and further order that said fine and case costs be paid within 10 days of the entry of this order.
Motion has been made that the respondent is in violation of the citation and should pay a fine of $5,000. Is there a second to that motion? Is there a second to that motion? Motion is not carried.
Mine, when you wrote the citation, as to whether or not the sign depicted sexual activity.
I don't think it would change my decision to write the citation, but
Okay.
I'll quote Mr. Sasaloto that it's a verb, so in my mind, it seemed like an action, yes.
Okay. Of those two choices, though, seeing the sign, what would you think somebody meant by that?
Said, it seems like it's an action.
You really think so? Okay. Guess that's all I have there. I think the board may have some questions here.
Not yet.
I have a question. The sign in reference to the left of Mr. Sheets, is that also part of this citation?
If I, no, I
It's
don't.
unclear to me who's holding that sign.
No, it's not.
Yeah, and the
Okay.
gentleman in the orange wasn't holding it, but I don't believe it was. The thing that was on that sign was a bunch of stick figures performing sexual acts on each other.
Correct, that was my
For
question.
the record, the only violations are the shirt and the flag.
on the
Not the
mask.
sign depicting sexual activity.
So it's my
I know,
too.
I know.
Okay.
And I'm sorry, I do have a follow-up question on direct examination. Does the word fuck connote to you a sexual activity? Come to you.
Me? Oh,
Yeah.
yes.
All right, thank you. That's all I have.
Mr. Chair, if
Yes.
there's no other questions, I'd like to make a motion.
Please.
I'd like to make a motion that the city has proven it has a prima facie case.
Second.
Motion has been made, second, that the city has established a prima facie case. Is there any discussion on the motion? No discussion? Have a vote. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed?
Nay.
One nay vote, the motion is carried.
So it's interesting, earlier, Massey brought up a good point I forgot all about. This is absolutely selective and discriminatory. We have tons of video of all these police officers right here seeing other people with bad signs protesting on 41, where tons of kids saw them. Multiple protests on 41. In fact, I was just at a protest in front of the police station. And I was censored because of your tyranny. I censored myself, but there was other people there with signs, and they did nothing. All they did was stare through the window, staring at us, and they did nothing. In fact, some of those people went downtown Punta Gorda, I'm sure you've heard, with their signs in front of kids everywhere with a bullhorn. I gave my bullhorn to my friend because I said they're sick of hearing from me. You make a statement. All these cops knew about it, drove by, and we have countless videos. There was somebody at the DMV, like Massey was just saying. There was, I think, 7 people there. All these bad signs. All these cops were there. Nobody got a ticket. I have all the videos for that. This is selective and discriminatory. So I want to, like I said, I want to agree with Massey. This is, you cannot have a law that's selective and discriminatory. I also want to make a point that he admitted to. So what he was mentioning is, what did the bottom sign say? Do you remember?
I don't recall exactly.
All right, so that day, I was making an interesting observation, just for him or whoever showed up. This sign says, fuck acronyms. Does anybody know what acronyms mean? Okay? That means F dot, U dot, C dot, K dot, for unlawful carnal knowledge. Everything, here it is, dot, dot, dot. There's dots here. If you zoom into the other one, there's dots on all of these. In fact, I have it on video. He admitted to me the next time he saw me, there you go. Dot, 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 dot. In fact, he admitted the next time he saw me, he goes, I apologize. And this is on video, his body camera and mine. He goes, I apologize. I didn't realize you were doing acronyms that day. So, also, I need to make this statement too. I am not a rich person. I am lower income, and these fines are outrageous. What is the irreparable harm? What?
Conduct has already occurred, that's the problem.
What's
There's
that?
nothing- Your conduct has already occurred. There's no curative action you can take to prevent this violation that's before us.
And then how are you going to enforce this if I cannot pay?
That's up to the city.
Exactly. So how are you going to enforce this, Mr. Levin? All right, okay, I'm not going to go there. So this day was acronyms. I have him on video admitting. He saw the video later, said, shit, I missed it. I should have got it. And by the way, I said rip up a ticket. You wouldn't rip it up.
Can I ask you a question, Mr.
Yes.
Sheets? So, again, the same question I posed to Mr. Massey, that you said all these other people had signs and the police didn't do anything. How are you aware that they haven't received warnings? Or maybe they have received warnings and they said, well, I'm not going to do it again. What proof do you have? I mean, you brought it up. so
Okay,
certainly
no,
you
I
have
agree.
proof to show
Thank
me
you,
that.
thank you for asking. You know, like one person here got mad because I said that this is an extremely corrupt city, and the police department is because that's why I wear I wear multiple body cameras. Everybody that I know was out doing this, you know, trying to, you know, stop this insanity, they all wear body cameras. You guys wear body cameras. It is all fully documented. I could not believe it. We're at the DMV where I got that last ticket that you just nailed me for, $1,000. 7 people sitting there with all these fuck signs, and none of these guys gave him a warning. They let him go. In fact, they were even recording in that building with video, and Charlotte County says that's illegal, and they should have been trespassed. They wouldn't even trespass him. It's really weird. If Andy goes out somewhere with the camera, he's trespassed. If Andy goes out somewhere with a bad sign, I get a ticket. But nobody else is. Sir, you give me your email, I will send you every single video you want. And you're going to say, what's going on? You're enforcing it on Andy and none of these other people? There's so much video you have no idea about. All fully documented.
Why didn't you bring photographs with you?
I did not know that this was going to get this out of control. Really did not. I will swear on a Bible. It's real. It's not a joke. Ask them. Ask them. How many people have you seen that are protesting with these signs and you didn't do anything? There you go. There's your answer right there.
Not relevant to
Mr.
this
Chairman, the
case.
appropriate way of asking any question would be through the council.
Yes.
I mean, through the chair.
So,
It's not relevant
Yeah, if
to
we
the
could just get
case.
back to our procedures. They're presenting their
okay.
case in chief, so let's let him question his
Correct.
witnesses. and then
Are we all set? Any
cross-examine,
questions?
and then
You
board
finished with
Yep,
your?
yes.
Okay, thank you.
Officer, the minuscule little dots that are between the F, U, C, and K, would those have been visible by most passerbys?
No, sir, I actually didn't notice that they were there at all until he uploaded a video to YouTube later. The conversation he's talking about later, after I spoke to him, I did tell him I didn't notice them there, and they weren't visible on video. No times I apologize for citing him.
And so the letters that were clearly visible, did that, was that word above where it says "the police"? Is that a word that you determined to be indecent under the city's sign code?
That's correct.
And that's what you cited him for?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. I have no further questions.
Any rebuttal?
Some statements. I really hope that members of this panel, when you hear "fuck Biden," it doesn't give you any kind of sexual perception.
Is this your summary?
Yes. Because that's basically what it would have to do to properly and fairly apply this ordinance. And, you know, whether you take this argument again or not, this is a record that may go before a circuit judge or an appellate judge. The obscenity, there was some questions here about obscenity. Retiring member here made, and he seemed to think obscenity and fighting words had something to do with this charge. Attorney said, hey, well, you're not charging him for that. But still, it played in his mind. And he didn't want to isolate it, didn't appear to want to isolate it to that particular definition of indecency. So, you know, again, I can only urge you to consider the rule of law. Whether you like the colorful metaphor or not, we have to go by the rule of law. And the rule of law says, hey, if you're innocent until proven guilty. So if you want to put some guilt on him for obscenity or fighting words, you're not applying the rule of law. That wasn't charged. That is not on the table. If I'm wrong, object, Mr. Levin.
No, I would stipulate that and have indicated on the record
So
that the
should-
notice of violation, the citation said indecent speech.
So
Indecent sign.
if you think it's obscene, if you think it's fighting words, he's innocent of that. I mean, at this juncture, it wasn't charged. Now, the obscenity case, Miller versus California, actually requires, trying to prove obscenity requires it to be proved that the work depicts or describes in a patently offensive way sexual conduct. So, you know, as part of our constitutional argument, I'm not saying you can do this, part of our constitutional argument, the city has just simply taken obscenity standards and plopped them right into the indecency definition, just wrote them right in. Okay, well, that's not for your purvey, at least to decide, but what I'm trying to say here is at least this body can't determine the constitutionality. The body could make some effort to actually apply the words, actual words, the unconstitutional words that are actually in the provision, indecent speech depicts or describes sexual activity organ. Fuck Biden doesn't, unless you use a warped imagination. You said, okay? Please go light on my clients. They're here to make a point, not making any money off of this. They just want to stand for constitutional rights. This will work its way through. It's not going to help to heap a big fine on somebody that can't afford to pay it. So please, I mean, let's go $100 this time. You've already fined him enough, if you're going to fine him. Thank you.
Thank you. Any questions from the board? Then I'll entertain a motion as to whether or not we have a violation. And I will say before that, I'm sorry, I disagree with your position. I think the way the word was used is not just in general, like when I play golf and have a bad swing, but does in fact describe something sexual to be committed to a human being. And I don't think I'm such an idiot that I would make that mistake, but, so.
Sorry you see that.
Yeah, well, I'm sorry the way you describe it, but anyhow, I will entertain a motion as to whether or not there is a violation of the ordinance.
Chair, Mr. Chair,
Yes.
may I ask the officer a question, please?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Lunny, can you go back to the picture of the sign that Mr. Sheets is holding?
Oh,
No.
he's not, we're not here on the sign that he's holding. We're here on his shirt,
The shirt, I'm sorry.
because the sign, we couldn't see what it said.
Okay. Officer, no, I need you to go back to the previous.
Okay, there you go.
Okay,
This is exhibit number 4.
okay. Officer, can you, with your finger, I think your finger might show up on the picture, point to the dots after F-U-C-K, please?
Well, first of all, his finger won't be able to show up on the record.
Okay,
And-
well,
but
let me rephrase it then. Can you see the dots, the periods after the letter, after the letters F-U-C-K on that shirt from
can't.
where you're standing?
No,
If you moved 5 feet closer, could you see those dots?
no,
If you moved 8 feet closer, could you see those dots?
probably not.
Are you talking about when he was on the scene? Not, you're talking about when he was on the scene, whether we'd be able to see those dots, correct?
Yes.
Yeah, I just want to make sure that was clear.
Yes. So, just give me I mean, we're playing the word game here now, and everybody's having a good time. It's kind of like Wheel of Fortune. What would your first impression of that word, fuck, be as an acronym? Would you understand what that word meant as an acronym?
No,
And if you couldn't see the dots, you wouldn't know it was an acronym.
correct.
Okay, I have nothing further, Mr. Chair. Well, that's standing on top of the man, so,
Well, and that's all I'm going to ask, if I may, follow up with
I'm
your
sorry,
question.
I'm sorry.
So here's a photo, exhibit number 6.